All right, so it is just about 6 p.m. on the East Coast. We're about a minute till at this point. So let's get this thing going. How's it going, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy September 24th. And welcome to another Twitch stream. Can't believe it's the third one already. And today we're going to be discussing content creation tools, mostly for social media, mostly things that I've used over the past 3 or 4 years now of doing content creation. Some things that are free, some things that have paid plans, but overall things that you might be able to utilize for your own content creation as a musician. Obviously, we're in the age of content, with social media being such a prominent part of people's success and just, being able to find clientele and do collaborations, things of that nature. I figured this would be a great topic to touch on and to discuss. So we're going to kind of get into this here. This isn't going to be like super long, I don't think, compared to like what we did last week with musicians therapy, where it was super in depth. I did some more research though on the platforms that I'm going to be covering today, to kind of just go over, and none of these are ones that you have to use. They're just ones that I use that I would recommend based on my experience. Now, I've used even more platforms than what I'm going to list today, but these are some of the basic ones that you could use no matter what you're doing. If you're doing Instagram primarily, or TikTok, YouTube, it really doesn't matter, because a lot of these platforms are multi-purpose platforms. I've mentioned this in some interviews, I think probably the introductory stream as well. I really began my content creation journey in 2018. If any of you know Adam Ivy, who is a really big, expert and teacher of music marketing, I took his initial Sell Music Mastermind course in 2018, and that was really where I learned the importance of content creation and what that means to the modern day musician, and how are you able to build a brand through that. So really, since the end of that year, I pretty much doubled down on how I'm going to build my brand through that, and I just started working from there and kind of just doing my own thing. And I still do this to this day, but I study my favorite musicians, and I study, what have they done in the past, or what are they doing now with content? Are they putting certain videos up, or holding contests, or even just the images that they post? Because obviously videos are big now, but images still have a lot of power to them. And what stories can you tell through the content as well is a big thing. And I'm sure we could go on, and I do want to do more workshops on stuff like this, specifically the storytelling aspect. I think that would be cool to do, but today we're not going to be talking about that specifically. We're just going to be talking about the tools that I use to make the content that I make. So if you're familiar with the content that I make, you already know kind of the aesthetic and the things I use. But if you're not, definitely go check out the other platforms that are linked here on Twitch, or even from YouTube. You could check them out in the bio. Instagram, my Instagram is a great snapshot of what I do creatively with content. And yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been on that journey 7 years now, 6-7 years, and I still feel like I'm learning new things every day, and things just keep evolving every day. And all the platforms I'm about to name are also evolving every day, and they're changing, what they're doing. They're integrating new and exciting things. And I'll kind of discuss the changes I've seen in each one since I've been using them. So we got four. Let me see. We have four. So 4 main platforms that I'm going to be covering today, which are Canva, CapCut, Filto, and Metricool. So let's start out with Canva, which is a huge company. It says Canva is a graphic design platform that provides tools for creating social media graphics presentations, promotional merchandise, and websites. Launched in Australia in 2013, the service offers design tools for individuals and companies. Its offerings include templates for presentations, posters, and social media content, as well as functionalities for photo and video editing. The platform uses a drag and drop interface intended to simplify the design process. Canva operates on a freemium model, and has expanded its services over the years to include features like a print platform and a video editing tool. I have a little bit of a bug, by the way, so I might be clearing my throat a lot in this video, so excuse me on that one. But yeah, you've probably heard of Canva at this point. They're a pretty big company now. I began working on Canva probably in 2020, like around the time of the pandemic. I might have started with them in 2019, and I feel like I probably heard about them through Adam Ivy. I can't confirm that or deny that, but I think I heard about them through him, and he presented it at the time as kind of an alternative to Photoshop or Lightroom or any of those other photo editing softwares, and it still is a much more affordable option compared to those. And I do have the prices here, which I'll pull up, and I'm going to do this for every platform and give you the breakdown of the different options you have currently as it stands, in September of 2024. Obviously, if you see this down the line, these things might change, but basically I've been using Canva for about 5 years now, and I feel like I've always felt like it's designed for people like myself. I am not a video editor. I'm not like a photographer or a great photo editor or anything like that. I love the bare minimum. I like to just, have fun with creating the content and then just doing light edits and then exporting. And that's really what Canva is to me. It's not super in depth. You're not going to be doing a ton of like color correcting and cropping and different things like that. They've put in a lot of tools over the years, and they've added a lot more as far as the capabilities go. And even in the last few years, like I said earlier about how video content has kind of taken off. They've integrated things like Instagram Reels and TikTok video editors, just things that are like more modern. So like when I started on there wasn't Reels, and TikTok really wasn't even a thing at that time until the pandemic came, and then it blew up. So they kind of keep a keen ear to like the trends of social media and these different platforms that everybody's on, which I think is really cool. I'm not going to do like a super in-depth walkthrough, but Canva is super easy to use from my experience. And what I do mostly over there is like my graphics for my albums, any type of social media graphics like the questions or the show love posts that I put up on Instagram. All of those are done in Canva. Even when I post videos and I might have like a little graphic behind it, or all the podcast content, all of that I've made in Canva. And it's super easy. They have pre-made templates that you can use, and you can kind of change out logos, colors. You can do logo designs. Like if you're a music producer, let's say, and you want a logo for your Beats store, you could design your logo in Canva and probably do it a lot easier with a template than you would with Photoshop, having to create everything from scratch. Because from what I know, Adobe and those places, I don't think they have the type of templates that Canva does, where you can easily have like the starting point and then you can change it and go from there and utilize that to create something new. So that's really like convenient. And again, if you're more into the photography side or the super like photo editing side, I don't think it's going to be the best option for you. But if you're looking for, if you make a lot of content like I do and you're putting stuff up every single day, it's just a lot easier to make content within their platform and get it out quickly. It might not be the most high quality in the world, and it depends on your skills too, because like I said, I'm not that skilled at video editing or even photo editing, and I don't really like to take that much time on it. I just kind of like to get in and get out with the content that I create. So if that's your vibe and that's what you like, Canva I think is a great choice. And again, if you're someone that likes more detail, maybe you want to look into Adobe. Maybe you want to look into like Acrobat. I think is another one that's pretty big right now, which I think is Microsoft. There's so many video editors and photo editors that you can use. So it's not like you have to do Canva, but for me, Canva's been great, and I have loved, the fact that they keep updating the platform, and they continue to listen and keep an ear to what content creators are looking for. So let's break down the price range currently, and they've kind of changed the ladders over the years. Because I feel like when I started using it, they only had like 2 options, and it was free or the pro plan. Currently they have 4 options. So let's start with free. It says Canva free, design anything and bring your ideas to life, no cost, just creativity. And yeah, I think that's the best option, to just get things started. Like, just start with the free plan, and you could use that forever if you wanted to, because it's still not set up to where you have to pay for it. So you can technically use it forever for free. They do limit your capabilities a little bit, like the images and the certain templates. You won't have access to those. And some of the editing capabilities you're not going to have access to. But again, if you're just looking for that bare minimum, that's probably the way to go, honestly. So I would recommend just checking it out and seeing if you like the platform, how they run it, the design features of it, all that good stuff. Moving this pillow out of the way. Excuse me. So just check it out, see what you think about it. And that's how I started. I didn't get the pro plan until 2021 probably, because like I said, I found that I was creating so much content on the platform, and I was putting things up every day and scheduling things months in advance. So I was like, I could justify at that point paying a yearly subscription for the service, because I'm like, why am I limiting myself when I make so much content? If I pay, X amount a year, I'll be able to have access to all the features of this platform, so I can really get the most out of it. And that's kind of where the decision came from for me. And I think you'll feel the same. If you make a lot of social media content, you're going to want to probably go to the pro plan. So let's talk about that pro plan. It's currently listed at $120 a year, which compared to other platforms like Adobe Photoshop and I don't know about Acrobat. I haven't really looked into Acrobat, but I know Photoshop is pretty steep as far as their yearly subscription. So $120 for a year is really not that bad for what you get out of it. It says Canva Pro unlock premium content, more powerful design tools, and AI features. They did just integrate the AI features, really, I think it's the beginning of this year, because obviously AI is a huge thing. It's a buzzword, but it's a huge thing in being able to make, certain things for social media, and really just integrating those tools into your content creation. If you see the thumbnails and the art that I'm using for these Twitch streams, like if you're on YouTube and you see that thumbnail for this video, that was made on Canva using the AI prompts. So what I'll do is I'll take an image that is related to the stream, something that I feel like relates to the topic. I'll throw it in there, and then they have I think it's called Magic Brush or Magic Editor, and essentially you can highlight the image, whatever you can highlight parts of the image or the full image, and you can type in a prompt and have it do whatever you want, like based on what you put in is what you get out, just kind of like a DALL-E or any of the other AI generated platforms. So what I do, and the current one I'm running with, is oil paintings. I'm a big fan of art and old-timey art and just Renaissance art. So I put in a random photo, and I'll type in turn into oil painting, and then it'll turn it into looking like it was a painting. So if you look at those thumbnails, like go to the Twitch videos on the YouTube channel and look at the thumbnails, all those are that. So it's just me integrating that AI feature. I've been a big fan of that so far, so I hope they keep updating that. And yeah, I mean, that's the pro option. I think that if you are gonna make that much content, to me it's worth it because it's really not that much money at the end of the day. If you can afford to do it, go ahead and do it. And I think you're able, I don't know for sure because it doesn't say on this page, but I believe you're able to break it down. If you want to pay every month like a certain amount, you can do that, or you can do the 120 annually. I'm currently doing the 120 annually, so I pay in, I believe, April or May is when I'm currently set up to pay every single year. But to me, it's worth it. I can justify being able to do it because I just make so much content. So, but the new ones that they've added in the last couple years are Teams and Enterprise. So it says Canva Teams, transform teamwork, grow your brand, and simplify workflows. $100 a year per person, minimum of 3 people. So technically it's $300 a year, $100 per person, because you have to have 3 people or more. These last two don't really apply to musicians, in my opinion, unless you're in maybe a band or a group. Maybe you all want to pitch in to get the Canva Teams plan so you all can work on projects and edit things. And I think you can set it up to where you all share an account, so you're all able to edit, like if you're making like album art or you're trying to make a flyer for your next show, you know, you can all be in there working together at once. I don't know if they have, let me see here. Sure, brand consistency, edit, comment, collaborate in real time. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I figured. I don't think they have like a video chat or anything like that. It would be kind of cool if they did. From what I'm reading, it doesn't look like there's any type of live video chat or anything like that, but you can edit, you know, together across different devices all at once. So that's pretty cool. I can't relate to that. I've never used that feature, but you know, if you're collaborating with people, maybe you want to do that. But I think ideally, if you're in a group or a band, that's something that you might want to consider. And that way, excuse me, and that way, you know, you each pay, because technically if you all did that, you could pay $20 less than you would with the individual plan. So you all chip in $100 a year to be able to use this, and you can use it for your group projects and for your individual stuff too. So I don't think that sounds like a bad deal at all, honestly. But you have to find at least 3 people to do that one. And it says Canva Enterprise, empower your organization with an all-in-one workplace solution. Centrally manage multiple teams and brands, set up individual or group design approvals. So I mean, that is for businesses, right? That's for corporate businesses, local businesses, whatever. If they have a lot of people on their team and they want to do essentially what Teams does, but expand it even more, that's what that is. I don't think musicians would ever be using that. Maybe a label or, you know, some type of big group or conglomerate would use that, but I don't think any musicians would be using it. But it is an option, and there's no current price on that. I believe you have to get a quote. So it probably depends on like what you're looking to do with it, and it probably depends on you know, what you want to do as far as what you're going to be creating. So I bet you because it says contact sales, which means probably contact like a representative from Canva, and they'll probably talk you through, you know, what do you want to do with it, and then they'll probably quote you a certain amount per year, per month, whatever. So enterprise is an option, but I don't think we're going to be focusing on that. I feel like the biggest ones you want to look at are the free and the pro, because those are the ones that you get the most out of as an individual. And if you want to do the teams, go ahead, but only if you're in a band or group. That's the only way I'd recommend it, personally. So that is Canva. Super dope platform. Highly recommend it, especially if you don't want to pay for Photoshop and you're just not that good at that. If you just want simple content creation, go for it. Highly recommend. So up next, we have CapCut. You probably heard of CapCut if you've been on TikTok in the last couple years. I started using CapCut in 2022. It says the app was first released in China in 2019, was initially available for iPhone and Android. In 2020, it was renamed to CapCut. So I don't remember what it says it right here. It says formerly known as ViaMaker internationally, and became available internationally. It later expanded to include web and desktop versions for Mac and Windows. So I only have experience in CapCut Mobile and I think a lot of people probably do. If you're familiar with the platform, it's mostly video editing. You can do some photo edits on there too, but I've only known it to be useful for video editing. I do a lot of editing and exporting for my YouTube videos on mobile, mostly because my internet currently is not the best, so I like doing things over LTE. So what I'll do a lot of the times is send, via Transfer Now, videos to myself on my phone, and I've just found it easier to video edit on mobile compared to doing it on a desktop. But again, as of 2020, it says they integrated both, which is nice. So you can do both. I didn't really know until I researched that they had desktop capability, but I think that's super awesome because, if they're trying to compete with other video editors, that's kind of like a necessity because a lot of people are video editing the larger size content on their laptop. So, I mean, I'm not going to say this is great for music videos or anything like that, but if you want to do anything with a higher resolution or something that's going to be a pretty big file to export, I would recommend looking into the desktop version, which I'll get to that in a second. But for the mobile version, they have the free version and they have the pro plan. Recently, I have noticed that they've taken some of the things that were free and made them not free anymore. So that kind of sucks. But I believe that's because of the growth of the platform and the amount of people that are on it now. I think that's kind of inevitable that they would end up charging for certain features. The biggest one that I've noticed in my content creation is captions on videos. And captions on videos was completely a free tool for the last year and change. I would use them on my podcast posts, the video posts that I would do. I use them on some of the YouTube videos I posted, like my Unknown Advantage vlogs. They have the captions on them. Well, now captions is pretty much only a pay-to-use feature, which is super unfortunate because I think it shouldn't be that way. I think it's a very basic feature that should be free, but I guess I understand to an extent because they're trying to get more people to sign up for the pro plan because they need to grow, they need to make money. That's pretty obvious business, tactics right there, but you can still video edit. You can add in music to your videos. You can, sound design a little bit within the videos. It's not super fancy, but they make it easy it's like Canva. It's like the Canva version of a video editor. They make it super easy to understand. And again, most of the videos you've seen on TikTok were probably edited with CapCut because I don't know if they're directly partnered with TikTok, but they have some type of affiliation to where CapCut pretty much came up around the same time that TikTok did during the pandemic, and they both kind of took off together. So I didn't research that. I don't know, but you've probably heard of CapCut or you've seen videos that were edited with CapCut using videos that were edited with CapCut on TikTok is what I'm trying to say. I had to think about that one for a minute. But yeah, the mobile version, I mean, if you download it, you could just start editing videos, but you can't put captions on anymore. Certain texts aren't available anymore. The basic texts are, other ones are only with the pro plan. But let's check out the different price ranges of the plans that they have currently only two options. One is the monthly plan, which is $25.99 a month. 1,800 credits per month, 3 social media accounts, 500 gigabytes of storage, AI-powered video and image creation, multi-platform publishing and scheduler, performance overview and analytics, free creative assets available for commercial use, product and content management. So basically the full range of capabilities is at your fingertips right there. I'm looking at both of these and they're very similar. The other one is, it says this is the recommended one. You save about 20% compared to that $25.99. You pay $20.84 per month. And these both are currently listed as discounted prices. So I don't know if they're always listed as discounts just to kind of, make it catch your attention. I don't really know because I don't have the pro plan for this, so I can't really speak to that. 21,600 credits per year, and I'm not sure what credits do either. Credits are probably things that get you, certain items within the pro plan. I would assume that's what credits mean, but again, I'm not going to say that for sure because I really don't know. 3 social media accounts, 500 gigabytes of storage. Everything else is basically the same. So the only thing you would get is you get about a $4 or $5 knocked off of that initial price per year, and you get way more credits because like I said, that one you get 1,800 credits. This one you get 21,600 credits. So yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of a no-brainer. You pay less and you get more credits, and everything else is exactly the same. You get the same amount of storage, all that good stuff. And this, I believe, is for just the desktop version. I think so. That might apply to mobile too. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not a huge expert on this platform because I only use the free version. But just something to think about right there. And CapCut is, like I said, if you just want to do things for mobile, you just want to do very simple TikTok videos or Reels on Instagram, I'd recommend doing that one. And just do it free, If you want to do the pro plan eventually, go ahead, but I think you can still get a lot out of it just by doing that video editor. And just kind of, you can find workarounds too, like some of the things I've done has been, I'll export from CapCut and I'll take it to Canva since I have the pro version over there, and then I'll add different things to it, add borders or add I think you can even add captions on Canva, I believe. Not sure about that one. But you can add different things to your videos to make them look even more presentable for when you're about to post them. Just keep that in mind. You can kind of cross the platforms and kind of, use certain features on one platform, export from there, and then maybe add more with another platform. So just something to keep in mind. But CapCut, I would recommend it mostly for the free version. If you want super advanced video editing, just research video editors. If you're going to be doing super high grade stuff, CapCut's probably not the way to go, but you want it done quick, you want it done easy, and you want it to still look pretty good, check out CapCut for sure. So next up we have Filto. Let me see if... Okay, so Filto, I have no website to go off of for Filto. And I almost did not include this one, but I wanted to include it because I have been using it for a while. I believe I discovered that through someone on YouTube. I don't remember who it was, but this was probably in 2020, and I was looking at, different ways to edit photos specifically and add different filters than what's just included in iOS with, the iPhone presets. So I remember I found Filto and they said, a lot of people on Instagram are using this app. And they have so many different types of filters on there. I don't have a lot of info on it. It says Filto is an easy to use photo and video editor with a powerful set of editing tools and effects. Yeah, I mean, it's a totally free app. I think there is a paid version if you want like more filters and things like that. I've never really seen a need to do it. They do have a watermark as well when you export, so that's a big thing. I've always had to crop my images. Like I make sure to take not landscape, but like horizontal images, and they'll put the watermark in like either the upper right corner or usually the bottom right corner. And I usually just have to like crop that a little bit. But like I said, you could do the same thing you do with CapCut if you want to export, and then you would put it in Canva and edit it and change it and do whatever. But the different type of filters that they have on there are really cool. I love the cool color features that they have, like the blues and the whites and things that they integrate. I love those kind of cool colors, being able to incorporate those. And where I live, as you can tell, has a lot of yellow lighting, which I hate yellow lighting. I like more cool colors and like things that don't completely drown out the background. So even if I was to take a picture in here with this yellow lighting, I could like put it in Filto and really put a nice cool saturation on it to make it look totally different, like change the environment a lot. And just make it more vibrant and change colors and make things pop more. It's again, it falls in the category of a very simple photo video editor. I would not recommend doing videos. From my experience, you can't really do a lot with the color correction on the video stuff because it doesn't really handle it the same way that it does photos. I would recommend only doing photos on here because that's where I've had the most success. Being able to edit the photos, and then like I said, if I need to dump them in Canva, I'll do that, and then I'll add like the little bit of magic that I would do in there, and then I re-export it from there. But for videos, I would go the CapCut route because CapCut is specifically for videos, and to me, even though there's capabilities for video in Filto, I don't think Filto is made for video. I would only focus on doing the photos and just keeping it simple. This one is not that in depth as far as its capabilities, so it just has a lot of cool filters. That's really all it is. That's really why I don't have much information on it. I don't know. I could not find any information on the Pro plan, so I'm not really sure how much that is. But it is on the App Store and the Android Marketplace, and it's Filto, Filto. And I'll probably link it in the description of the YouTube video as well, so you can check it out. But yeah, that's just a cool one I just randomly found because someone on YouTube was like, oh yeah, I posted this thing or this video, or not video, this photo, and I used Filto, and like here's how I used it. And I was like, oh, that's cool because I hate the iPhone filters, so let me check it out. And I did, and yeah, I've used that on a lot of different photos, especially on Instagram. I've used it on a lot of photos, and I've already worked on a lot of content coming out next year as well that will have Filto filters on it. So definitely check that one out if you want more cool filters. The last one, this is the final one I have today, and it is Metricool. And Metricool is a social media planner. It says a reliable all-in-one social media tool to analyze, manage, and grow your digital presence on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and Twitch. They might have more platforms integrated as well. Not sure how I came across this platform, but the reason I came across it was because I was using another social media planner, which will not be named on this video, but I was not very happy with the functionality of said social media planner. I would schedule a lot of content way in advance, and usually when it came time to post, for some reason, I would always have it set to auto post, and I would make sure that my times were correct and everything was good. And then a lot of the times, sometimes it would do it with photos, but most of the time it was with videos, reels, and just normal short form content. It would just not post. Like it would hit, like let's say I have it scheduled for 12 p.m. and then I would get on at like 12:15 and it would say there would be nothing there, and then I go to the app and it would say there was an error in posting, and it's like, why? Like you have one job, and that's to auto post. So if you're constantly giving me errors, it's not really worth, the money I'm paying. And I forget how much I was paying per year. I feel like it was probably around 150, somewhere in there. So it was a good amount of money. I mean, it was more than Canva. And it technically has less capabilities because it was just like plan the content and have it auto post. And it saves you a lot of time. But I was like, man, to pay this type of money, I should have pretty seamless posting. Like I shouldn't be getting errors that say, we failed to post, or this video, whatever. It's like, I can't really justify paying you if that's going to be the result. And I remember trying to contact their customer service, and they just never responded to me. Like when I had issues, I would reach out and I would just never get responses. So I just said, screw it. Started researching more or different social media planners and like what were people using. And Metricool is a name that kept coming up over and over and over again. So this was earlier this year. This was probably in April or May, probably is when this was. And so I was like, before I gotta do my next billing cycle, let me just get rid of these people and let me just start Metricool. And Metricool, let's see. Oh, they do. Okay, so they do have different plans, which we'll get into in a second. But what caught my attention is that they do have a free plan, which that other company I was using, they never had a free plan. It was straight up, you had to pay that annual fee to do anything. And I think what's great about Metricool is that the platform capability is a lot higher. Now, I will say I still don't plan a lot on other platforms. Like with Metricool, you're able to, if you have one piece of content and you want to post it everywhere, you can schedule it to all those platforms simultaneously or space it out, which I think is amazing. And it allows you to connect all the platforms all at once and schedule it all throughout what you're doing, which it makes it so much easier. And you can do this on mobile with the app, or you can do it on desktop, so whatever works for you. But social media planning is a big thing. Like I said earlier, if you make daily content, you're going to want to have a plan for when you're going to be posting this content, and to be able to plan it and put it in motion, so that way you can set it to auto post, and you set that time, you put the caption in, you can do tags, you can do everything you need to do for a normal post, and it takes care of all that work beforehand, so you don't have to worry about it's the day of, like, what am I going to post? Even if I have a schedule, I might not be able to I might not have time to write the caption, might not have time to do the hashtags or tag people in the photo or the video. So you're able to do that all in advance. But I mean, you still really got to do planning. You still really got to put in the legwork behind the scenes. But if you're someone that does that, Metricool just comes to your aid, honestly. It's like that wingman in content creation. It's like right there when you need it. Like I said, I've been using the free plan for the last 4 or 5 months. Been very impressed. No errors, no posting, no missed posts, none of that stuff. It's posting when I tell it to post. It's posting exactly how I set it up. So far, so good. But let's check out these plans real quick, just to give you guys a snapshot of your options here. So yeah, the free plan, management of all your brand social media accounts. So the free plan does exclude a couple things. Twitter is one of them. Actually, it says Twitter analytics, so I'm not sure if that means it excludes that entirely. I don't think it does, because I remember seeing Twitter could be integrated. I just never did it because I don't plan my Twitter content. I'm super random with Twitter. I'll just go and I'll post and I'll leave. But it says a LinkedIn and Twitter analytics, so I think that just means stats, which, if you're an analytics person, maybe that affects you. Keep that in mind. Planning up to 50 pieces of content a month, which to me is super awesome, because guess what? There is not a month that has 50 days. Most months have 29, 30, or 31 days. So as long as you're posting one thing a day or less, you'll be fine with that 50 a month. Like, you will be perfectly fine. And keep in mind, you're probably not going to be planning every piece of content either, because I have spur of the moment content that will come up and I'll just be like, I'm just going to post that. I don't need to plan it because it's just a little thing I'm just going to post real quick. So I've never got even close to using 50 a month, and I'm someone that posts every day. So don't be worried about, am I going to be able to, keep under the 50 threshold? I think you'll be fine. Like, even if you're posting every day, you're still going to be fine. Analysis of 5 competitor profiles, access to analytics with 3 months of historical data, utilize AI social media assistant. So just some tools there to use as well. Then we got the starter plan, $18 a month or annual payment. It's got all the features of the free version, as well as multiple links in bio with smart links. So that's kind of cool. You could set up smart links, utilize AI social media tools, access to analytics and data, Google Drive integration, and Canva integration. So we talked about Canva earlier. So I didn't know that. So Canva and Metricool have a thing going then. So if you get that plan, the starter plan, you can have that integration. Maybe I'll look into that because I did not know that was a thing. And Google Drive integration, that's probably just accessing your Google Calendar. So if you have a Google Calendar, you can integrate your schedule within the Google Calendar and kind of set it up so that you always see what's going on, even outside the app, is what I would assume that means. And a lot of people do use that. The advanced pro plan, which is $45 a month, you get all of the features of the starter plan. You also get team and client access, role management, post approval system, customizable templates or for reports, complete Twitter analytics, connection to Looker Studio, and Zapier integration. I feel like I used Zapier like 4 or 5 years ago. I forget what that does. I think it's kind of similar to like Google Docs. It's just more of like a planning thing. So this definitely sounds more of like business type plan, kind of like we talked about with Canva. And you can do that team integration and role management, things like that. So probably not something you want to look into unless you're a team or a group, like we talked about. Custom, let's talk starting from 50 brands. So that's, again, kind of similar to Canva's like big, huge plan that they have for businesses. And you would just contact Metricool's representatives and have a discussion with them, and they would probably point you in the right direction of what kind of plan works for you. But yeah, that is Metricool right there. And I think that Metricool is awesome if you are a planner, if you're someone that loves to schedule content in advance and not have the headache of having to worry about what to post every single day. You're going to want to look into that, and you're going to want to try out the free version. And I think it's great that they have that free version currently, where you can pretty much have, you can schedule as much as you want, really. And to me, it's been nothing but beneficial, and I'm very grateful that they exist, because they helped me out a lot, taking me away from that other platform, which will not be named. But yeah, look into that one if you're a big planner and you're someone that just likes to stay ahead of things, really. So we're coming up on 45 minutes here in the stream, and this is perfect because I'm going to be wrapping it up here. I will leave all the links in the description of the YouTube video for the replay. Canva can be accessed on canva.com, and you can check out everything I just mentioned. CapCut's website is, let me see here, CapCut.com. Okay, simple enough. Filtoapp.co if you want to access Filto. All it does is it takes you to a page that tells you to go to the App Store or the Android Marketplace. So that's really all you can do with that. And the Metricool site is, let's see here, Metricool.com. Simple enough. But like I said, all of these will be in that description of the YouTube video. And again, I know that's just touching the super bare minimum of what you can do with content creation, because the possibilities are endless nowadays, and there's so many more platforms. And I'm sure I'm going to do an updated version of this like next year or maybe the year after, and probably add to, maybe not even add to, maybe just talk about the new ones I'll be using by then. But I think that's a great start. And all of these, I think they all have the one thing in common, and that is their barrier of entry is very easy, and it's very low price, or it's completely free. So if you're a musician that's just starting out and you're trying to, get your foot in the door with content, like just look at some of these and start with the free plan and just start slowly building up what you want to do and start having fun with all of these tools and see what you can create. And that's how you're going to begin to tell your story and build your brand as a music maker, by using tools like this. But feel free to Google or do whatever type of search you want to do. If you want to do a deeper dive into other platforms that you think might be cool, definitely do that. These are just my recommendations. But yeah, hopefully you get some insight from this, and hopefully it helps. So yeah, that was fun to research. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so next week we're going to be back here again on October 1st. Same time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be discussing Even, which is a platform that I just released my new album Unknown Advantage under. And I'm going to be discussing using that platform, releasing music under it. I need to do a lot more research on it for next week in preparation. But be on the lookout for that one. But thank you guys for checking this out. And hopefully, like I said, you get something out of it. But until next time, we'll see you then. And thanks for tuning in. So have a good one, guys.